First of all, let's check out this little video clip of Micah Parsons talking high about Brock Purdy. Let's check this out.
And I just don't think that we should sleep on Brock Purdy no more. Yes, he was a 7th-round pick. Yes, he came in late in the season and won 6 straight games, took him to the NFC Championship before his injury. But Purdy, you will not be slept on no more, brother. I think people are coming for you the same way they come for Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. Yes, you are surrounded by a great team, but you are playing your butt off, and you got one hell of a story, brother. If we were to rank Purdy right now, I would put Purdy around. I think Purdy's a top 15 quarterback. There's things that we still want to see from Purdy, not when Purdy's winning, but when Purdy's down. I think the adversity aspect of the football game is huge. Learning how to play from behind, learning situational football. It's not something I'm saying he can't do. It's just something that we just haven't seen yet.
All right, man. Seen that? Talking about him being a top 15 quarterback when a lot of 49er fans right now still kind of hating on him. A few guys in the media, talking trash still. But what do you think about this, man? Do you agree with Micah, and what do you think about him?
I agree with him. Simply just because, man, he started off hot last year, won 6 games in a row. Coming into this season, people wanted to see what he could do. I think first game, people were expecting the Steelers to put up more of a fight, but Brock Purdy just looked composed. He looked like he was in control. And let's be real, our biggest competition is going to be the Cowboys. So even they know, we got to make sure, because we're probably going to face these guys. And they put out a performance versus the Steelers. So we got to keep an eye on this guy and the whole team because, man, they're going to be our competition later on. So with that, I think more of the quarterbacks, more of the teams in the NFL, they're going to start looking at Brock Purdy because it's always the first year when that quarterback's new. You don't really have too much film on him. But as the season starts to progress, I think more teams are going to start going after him, and he's going to be the target this year.
You know what? I honestly tell you the truth, man. Micah Parsons, he's not a 49er. He's a Cowboy. So I don't like that. I don't like him at all. But I actually like a lot of stuff he talks about, a lot of stuff he talks off the field, on the field. He's actually a really smart dude, So I always got to give him a complete respect, just how he is as a person. And I agree with him, man. I think that Brock Purdy is a top 15 quarterback. I was watching film and just watching him. To tell you the truth, he looked like I was comparing who would I rather have, Brock Purdy or Kirk Cousins. And I was Brock Purdy. I just kept going down the list, and I was like, you know what? I think Brock Purdy is a top 15 quarterback. I'm not trying to sound like a fanboy. I'm just not. But what I saw him do this week and then all last year, I honestly, to tell you the truth, man, I think he is, man. I really do. But speaking of Brock Purdy, man, he's number 1 in QBR after week 1. What do you think, man? Are you kind of shocked, or dude, this guy might be the freaking real deal?
I'm not shocked, to be honest, because when I checked out the list, it actually made sense. If you look at the list, only one that I was really shocked about being at the bottom was Joe Burrows.
Yeah.
I thought he would at least be somewhere in the middle, but if you look at the guys in the middle, those are going to be the Patrick Mahomes, the Justin Herbert type of players. Those are guys that they have a lot of weapons, so they're going to be throwing it a lot, and they're going to be trying to make plays happen. You see Patrick Mahomes, that guy's always scrambling for his life, and then he's always diving while throwing it. So with that, that makes sense that they were in the middle. And if you look at the top 5, it also makes sense because you have, I believe, number 4 is Jimmy G. Jimmy G is a better version, a little bit of Alex Smith. He's going to protect the ball. He's not going to throw it a lot. That was one of the things that Niner fans hated. And with Kyle Shanahan, he was always trying to make this a guy a thrower, but he would throw what was it in the Super Bowl, 10 times? He had 10 attempts in that.
No, that was the
NFC Championship. Yeah, and then second on the list, or I believe third or second, it's Tua.
Yeah.
I know Tua threw a pick this weekend, but man, he's got freaking the 2 best receivers. He's got to make a play happen. And going back to Tua, when he was in college, he was actually, him and Joe Burrows were the top QBRs. And so that makes sense that he's on the list because he takes care of the ball a lot and he's very conservative. Second, I was pretty shocked because it was Matthew Stafford, man. Stafford. But it also does make a tiny bit of sense with Cooper Kupp being out. So he does have to be, get everybody involved. And Cam Akers sucks, man. He's probably one of the worst backs in the NFL, man. Sorry, Ramalia. But they're just horrible without Cooper Kupp. So he can't do anything drastic because he knows once they make a mistake, oh man, they don't have like the firepower to come back. And so Brock Purdy, again, I wasn't shocked that he was number one, because if you look at the list, there's a lot of the guys who really conserve the football. And so I think that's going to continue. I think he's going to be top 3 as the season goes on.
Yeah, man. Watching the film, I was more impressed what I saw from him. He was throwing in windows that were just like beautiful. The one, I think he threw it out to Deebo Samuel, that was just amazing. It was like a laser. I was like, oh shit, people talking about he doesn't have that arm. He has like a weak arm, but I was seeing like amazing throws, anticipation throw. He knew exactly where the receiver was going to be, and it was impressive, man. I think the best throw probably I think he was a throw to Ayuk. He waited a second. He waited till the linebacker to move and the receiver to get open. He threw it right to him. It was beautiful, man. So he has a number 1 QBR, and I think it's going to keep up, man. I really think he is the truth. I know a lot of people think he's a fluke, but the fact that how great he looked on the road doing his thing week 1, it's amazing, man. It really is. So I think right now he's on that track. We haven't had it for 25 years, I think, a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Yeah.
And if he just does it the same thing he does this week, I think he's going to be a Pro Bowl quarterback, which would be absolutely amazing, man. Now let's talk about one guy that actually the 49ers worked out today. Big guy from Notre Dame, big star at Notre Dame, Ian Book, man. What do you think about this, man? The Niners bringing him in, seeing what he has all about. What do you feel, man?
Yeah, I'm a little confused by it, because when I check out, if you look up just Ian Book, look him up on YouTube. Yeah. The first highlight is him throwing 2 picks. He's like not even, he's 10 for like 21, something like that, like horrible stats. And then if you scroll down, he's just throwing picks after picks. So a little bit shocked that they're working out this guy. I don't know what the reasoning is. I think now everyone kind of looks dumb, because we probably should have kept Trey Lance now that the Jets with no Aaron Rodgers. Man, Trey Lance, he could have had a shot of starting, man. So he should have just waited his ass. But I don't know what we're doing, working him out. A little confused by that, but we'll see what happens with what's our third stringer, Allen?
Yeah, Brandon Allen.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna trade him. I don't know.
Honestly, I watched Ian Book in college. I remember him at Notre Dame, and to tell you the truth, I never was a fan of his. To me, he reminds me of a poor man's Jeff Garcia. And when I say that, I mean poor man's Jeff Garcia. He has the happy feet, but he just makes dumbass decisions. I remember him in college. I was just like, what the hell are you doing? And when he scrambles, he doesn't go down. He takes big shots, and it's just like, I don't know. To me, it was just confusing. I remember with the Saints, I saw exact same thing from him in college. I don't know. Maybe they see something out of him, but personally, man, I just don't see it. But the one problem I have with this, say we bring him in, because remember, we brought in 3 receivers too to work out. And I get it, you want to see it, take a look at everyone. But one thing I don't like, man, is the constant changing in the locker room. I'll give you an example. I'm an Oakland A's fan. And for like the first 2000s, we were a badass team. For like 10 years, 15 years, we had probably the best team in baseball a few years. How many championships did we win? 0. And the reason I believe we had 0 championship was because Billy Beane, he just loved the turnover. He loves bringing guys in, taking them out, bringing them in, taking them out. And to me, I think that kind of ruins a locker room where you're seeing new guys every day. It's like, what the hell's going on? Yeah. And I thought that's what happened with the Oakland A's. Is like, dude, have the guys you want, have it set, and this is it, baby. We're going to roll with the guys that brought us here. I know we've done that in the past with John Lynch and stuff, where we're bringing guys in practice squad, back and forth, like, and then bringing them up to the 53-man roster. Like, relax, dude. We got our guys. If something emergency happens, I get it. You're gonna call someone up, bring them, but let's not be doing this every week. I just don't like it personally. I think it's a mistake, and hopefully, we learn from that. Hopefully, you're listening, John Lynch and Adam Peters and those boys, because man, personally, this is deja vu for me. Always seeing that crap when we should have won one World Series, but I don't know. I think Billy Beane was off with this, but let's talk about Colin Cowherd, man. Let's do it. Let's check out this clip real quick of Colin Cowherd giving the 49ers the number 1 rankings. Check it out.
San Francisco. Can we be honest? Brock Purdy's pretty good. He's not great. Nobody's saying top 10, but the kid's more athletic than I gave him credit for. He led them in 6 scoring drives. Christian McCaffrey was a monster. Christian McCaffrey's insane. I don't even know what the comp is. He could be a wide receiver in the league. He's a running back. Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, the best left tackle in football. And Brock Purdy is not just capable and coachable like I said. He's better than that. Whatever it is, Iowa State football's not the same without him. Right? Like, he left, they don't look the same as a program. There is my top 10.
All right, D, man. Colin Cowherd. It's funny because before the season started, he had the Seahawks as the number one team in the NFC West, and now he has us number one power rankings. He had the Bengals number one before the season. He has them off the top 10. But anyway, what do you think about this Colin Cowherd showing a little love for the 49ers?
He's been a real fan of like the Niners. I don't think he's come out and said that he's like a full-on fan, but man, he's always rooting for the 49ers because he just loves the style of play, the people that are in it, like the Kittles, you know, the Deebo Samuels, Ayuk. So he's always talking about those guys.
And he worked with John Lynch too, so.
Yeah, so he's always been like rooting low-key for the 49ers, but I think a lot of people had the Seahawks actually number one because we didn't know what was going to happen with the whole Brock Purdy. Remember, they were saying he was going to be out for a year. So it's like, well, and he's not the biggest Trey Lance. Maybe it's because of his daughter, but he's not the really biggest Trey Lance fan. So going back to the 49ers being number one, I think that he's just thinking that the 49ers are a team to beat. The Cowboys, really, the offense didn't really do too much, man. They're making like 3 and outs, punting the ball, but their defense, man, that's a really like spark. They had like 40 points like with the defense. It was crazy. They were just getting picks, fumbles. It was a gnarly game. And then even with the Eagles struggled with the Patriots. And with Miami also, like just throwing another team out there, like you saw like they had some weakness. The game was going back forward, Tua threw a pick. With the 49ers, man, like we look solid from offense to defense. Like the Steelers can do nothing. They had that crazy last minute half touchdown because we made some dumb penalties. But other than that, we were in control the whole game, man. And so I think he's looking at that. He's like, this team is going to be consistent. No injuries, knock on wood. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think he like knows that the only people that can beat us is like if we shoot ourselves in the foot. And that's why I was like, I get pissed off about Kyle Shanahan because I'm like, dude, we have the Super Bowl roster, but that guy just lets the Eagle get ahead of him. But hopefully this year everything changes.
Yeah, right now it's looking like a lot of teams after week one, they're having the Niners power rankings number one. We saw, was it Pro Football Focus, the guys with, who's it, Chris Sims and those guys, Pro Football Talk from NBC, they have us number one too. So there's quite a few power rankings out there. A lot of people jumping on that bandwagon. And let's be real right now, our offense might be just as good as our defense. And that right there is that might propel us to win it all. You know, we'll have to see what happens. But right now, I think the odds change. I think right now we're tied for number two, according to, I think, SeatGeek, that we're number two right now to win it all. KC's still number one. But if we just keep rolling the way we are, oh man, I think this could be the year, man. I said at the beginning of the year, these last few years, I haven't said that. I really haven't said that we're the team to beat. Mm-hmm. But this year, it looks like we are the team to beat. The defense, man, I think at the end of the day, if we just keep playing the way we are, get pressure, I think Hargrave is such a huge impact right there. And if Drake Jackson,
playing like that,
if Drake Jackson plays the way he does, we have a great chance of winning because he's going to have one-on-one matches all year long. And can he do it? One other guy out there that did really great, I got to give him credit for it. I was hating on him all year. And it was one game, but we'll have to wait and see. Clean Farrell, he got 2 hits on the quarterback. That one where Fred Warner almost got the interception. He freaking whacked the quarter. Poor Pickett, man. He was ready for that. Absolutely crazy, man. I really feel that. I agree with Colin, man. I think we're number one. We'll see how it goes. I know the next few weeks, I think they should be able to win. Because, check it out. We got the Rams, and then we got the Giants on a short week. We saw them. And then I believe the Cardinals. And then after that, the big matchup, I believe, with the Cowboys. So, I mean, that week right there is going to be who's going to decide, I think, who's going to be solidify themselves as number one. So, it's going to be interesting to see, man, what happens there. But let's talk about one thing right now that people are buzzing about today. We heard your girl, Jamel Hill, talk about bringing up one guy from the Jets, former 49er quarterback, Colin Kaepernick, man. What do you think, man? Should the Jets bring in Colin Cap Your boy. Now that the Niners.
I knew once Aaron Rodgers
Jets.
got hurt, that's when I hit you up after the game, and I was like, I know where you're thinking, and I'm thinking it too. Number 7 is coming back to the NFL. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. He does this every year, but I guarantee you this will be the year that we see Kaepernicking. Let's go. The Kaepernick squad's back, baby. The Jets are going to sign them, and they're going to go all the way to the NFC Championship because he took his team to the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship. And before his last season, he was throwing over like 80% QBR. So that's the guy that you want in the locker room. That's the guy that's going to take you all the way. So not a shock to see that.
Man, you are high as like, man, you gotta be joking me because right now, I'll be real with you, man. I was a Kaepernick fan those first 2 years because he was on fire, man. He was doing his thing. Then he got into other stuff, and let's be real, man. I'm not a fanboy. I just tell it like it is. He freaking sucked. He freaking sucked. His last year with Harbaugh was average. Then he went with Tom Sule. It was crap. Then Chip Kelly. That was the most pathetic year ever, man. And you know me, I'm the type of guy that watched before there was all the 22 axis, whatever the hell it is. All you would watch was the record. You record it and watch the game over again. I would watch those games where Cap would be throwing pick six after pick six against that Cardinals game. It was bad, man. And the only time we would actually score damn points was when it was garbage time. We were down 44-0 against the Patriots.
Yeah.
And we scored 17 points because the Patriots benched all their guys. And I know that's something Nick Wright talks about, man. He's like, well, Kaepernick, look at his last points against this team. Man, we're getting blown out so many times. They'll put their backups in. I'm not trying to hate on anything because what he did. I'm just talking about football, man. From a football standpoint, she was done, man. And the fact is, I don't know what the hell happened. But remember, he got in a big-ass fight with the 49er player, Alden Smith.
Yeah.
And that took a riff in the locker room, man. There was a big riff in the locker room. People from the defense wanted to kick his ass. People forget that, man. So there was a lot of riff with him. And I know that he was an asshole to the media. I remember how he would talk to the media. And then when he does all that protesting stuff, the media starts sucking up to him. It's like, what the hell? This guy was treating you like shit for all this time.
And now always wearing the beats after the loss and everything.
And he would like answer really like an asshole to them. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, when he starts doing that, they start kissing his ass. It's like, dude, what the hell? Like, it just, to me, it was just bizarre work. But I just focus on football. And to tell you the truth, he's 35 years old.
Yeah.
He hasn't played in forever. He's only like, 2-3 years younger than Aaron Rodgers. So, I mean, come on, man. There's other guys out there. And RG3 said it best today on it.
Yeah, that was actually good, that what he said.
Where he straight up said, hey, all these guys come in, me, Kaepernick, Carson Wentz, but at the end of the day, it's a distraction. They said the best person is to do the job probably is Zach Wilson. And let's be honest, they bring any of those other guys in, I think their season's done no matter what.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So, I mean, but they have a badass defense. That's the thing. If Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt, I'm not going to lie, like that. Them going to the Super Bowl, I wouldn't doubt.
They
would have had a chance because that defense is absolutely
good.
Monster. So,
and especially taking down the Bills. The Bills are like always like one of the Super Bowl like top 4 favorites.
Yeah.
And the fact that they did that to them, Josh Allen with the fumble and the 3 picks, like that's just insane.
Yeah. So personally, myself, man, I just don't. I do not see him joining the NFL again. If he was still had it, I think he would be.
Yeah.
Come on, let's be real, man. They brought back Hardy, all these other fools, but they had it. Remember Ray Rice? Remember he punched that chick, his girlfriend wife, and he didn't come back. Yeah. Why didn't he come back? Because the year before he ran for 2.0 yards like carry. It's not worth the wait, you know. If you have the talent, they're gonna bring him back. So that's just my opinion, man. And the last few years he sucked, and to me, doesn't make sense whatsoever. But final topic, man, let's talk about the prediction time, man. Who do you got? Niners, Rams, what are you looking forward to, man?
We're over there, right?
We're going to SoFi. Levi's south.
Yeah. So I think it'll actually be, I think we're obviously going to win. I think it's going to be a little bit tight game in the beginning, but I think during halftime, that's when the 49ers are just going to like push ahead. They'll probably be leading by 14-7 going into the half. But I think we'll come second half, like, I think we're just going to own them. I just think at the beginning it's going to be, because they don't got Cooper Kupp, so we're going to have to, like, adjust. And then, you know, you never know. When you're playing rival teams, like, you see it all the time. Like, it's always, like, the hardest because both are going at it. Everyone's, like, bragging rights almost. and who's like trying to like win our division. But I think that it's gonna be a tight game, but eventually we're gonna take over.
Yeah, man. Honestly, tell you the truth, they kind of surprised me.
Yeah,
That week 1, man, because I think the second half they only gave up 12 yards in the second half to the Seahawks, which is absolutely insane.
and they had the Seahawks. Remember, they're winning it in the division, and then everyone was like, "Oh, before the game, they're gonna destroy the Rams."
Yeah, so I think we do take over at probably right second half. But damn, man, that kind of got me like, what the hell? It was supposed to be the Seahawks that dominate. They go over there, but they always kind of, it seems like they own Seattle the past 10 years.
Yeah.
That they always play good games. They mostly beat them all the time. But damn, man, Stafford, to tell you the truth, man, his throws, if you watch that game, those throws, he was throwing freaking lasers, man. You could tell why he has a high QBR is because he was just throwing dimes. They got that one rookie, Nakua or whatever the hell his name.
Oh yeah,
he looked just like Cooper Kupp. I was like, oh shoot, man, he was like the weapon.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was pretty amazing. Higbee was pretty solid too. So I mean, it looks like they're dead. But who knows? Maybe they could come to life. I hope not. But damn, that was kind of like, oh shoot, they might not be the worst team in the NFL after all. You know, especially after they looked in the preseason, they looked like crap. But I think at the end of the day, you know, Brock Purdy, I think he's gonna do work, man. I think he's gonna pick apart this defense. I trust Purdy, man. I really do. Well, those games with Jimmy G, he did solid against I think the Rams last year. But even that first game, that was a nail biter till Hufanga got the interception. I think Purdy, he's just a smarter quarterback, and he's going to find guys. He's going to find Christian. He's going to find Ayuk, Debo Samuel, and I think Kittle's going to have a solid game too. So my prediction, I'm probably going to go ahead and say 34-10. That's my prediction. 34-10. We win. We probably start off a little slow, get an early lead, nothing crazy, and in the second half, I think we dominate them.
I'm gonna say somewhere around like 28-14.
28-14.
Yeah.
They'll probably get something, but I don't know, man. That's just our thoughts. Let us know what you think, man. Hope you guys enjoy the pod. Make sure to like this video, comment, subscribe. Talk to you next time. Peace.